Now, using yoga can really be helpful for calming things down and figuring out how to form a game plan to use YouTube automation that it can make you money online. And I can explain this. Being a yoga instructor has really taught me a lot about understanding ways that your body can respond to stress. So I do a lot of tracking for stress in my own life. As I studied to become a PhD, I really had to focus on minimizing my stress as much as possible so that I could get my work done. This was key for me to progress. If you don't have a plan and strategy, that's okay, but you want to eventually get a plan and strategy. Hopefully there's a blueprint for you to follow somewhere. Again, communities are one of the best areas where you can get some of these blueprints. You don't want or need to reinvent the wheel most of the time, maybe once or twice on a passion, but more often than not, you want to go with something that's already been proven and done that you know works. That way it can save you a lot of torment and struggle. So one thing that I recommend for most people is to get involved in a group, find a blueprint, and then just show up and start working on the execution. There are a lot of things that you can do in the yoga world, but one of the more efficient things that I recommend is breath work. Breath work is something that's very easy to get started on, and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort or energy. It's something that you can do right now, sitting in your chair. There's actually a hack that I made a video on. We're going to discuss a little bit more of it now because it's such an important, helpful tip that it significantly drops your blood pressure in a matter of seconds after you do it. And this is an inhale through the nose. You breathe in through the nose once more before you run out of breath, and an exhale through the nose. We're going to demonstrate it. Here we go. Inhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Let it out as slowly as possible. Once more, inhale. Let her inhale before you breathe out. And exhale. I'm doing this with you. Third one. Inhale. Once more, breathe in. Drop the shoulders. Exhale. Now, if you do these 3 breaths back to back to back, this will by far give you some helpful information for your body on where you are in your stress levels, and it will help drop your blood pressure significantly. So if you have the opportunity, check your blood pressure, see where it goes from there. That will give you some key information if this is something that you're not doing. If you are someone that naturally stresses, make sure that you have a system of things that you can do to help your stress. For myself, I have an app called Sync Tuition that I listen to. 25 minutes of it is equivalent to 4 hours of deep meditation. And when I tested this out with my brain mapping device, which is the Muse S, I did find that it is on par. It does help your brain waves stay in those delta brain waves that are very calming and in a meditative state. Also, with the Muse app, you can actually hear birds chirping through the sound that you are listening to in your ears through your headset if you are in a meditative state. So there's a good chance that you can really track what you're doing with a couple of these apps paired together. So I use them, and it really helps me kind of see where I'm at with my stress levels and let me know where I am. Another good app that I use is something called Weltery. Now this will scan your fingerprint and your pulse for about 3 minutes, and it will give you a lot of good readings on heart variability. Now, heart variability can give you a lot of key insights to how your body's responding to stress, your ANS, your fight or flight response, your parasympathetic nervous system. These things are important for you to understand and know if you're going to try to get yourself in a money-making online venture. It can be very painful and stressful. It can be a lot of time and energy and money. It can feel very defeating, and it can feel like a lot of rejection when you aren't making sales, transactions, when you're not even getting emails or people to open your emails. When these things happen, you want to lean into what you know works. Hopefully you have that blueprint. Lean into that. Hopefully you have the Facebook group or the Reddit group or the text group. Lean into that. Get some advice from your mentors and check and see what you're doing, that they're doing. Make sure it's matching. And hopefully you can start getting some of these transactions to pull through because they're not impossible. When you start running into issues like this, you want to check your stress levels. Hopefully sit down, drink some water, check your blood sugar, eat some food. These are things that you can do to really prolong the burnout from setting in. If the burnout starts to set in, then this might be time for you to take things a step further. Maybe go to a jacuzzi, relax in there, an infrared sauna. Maybe go and book a massage or get an adjustment from a chiropractor. These are things that can really help the body relieve a lot of stress pretty quickly and pretty effortlessly. A lot of times they are covered by specific things like insurance if you have good reasons for them. Other things that you can do, which we already know, is you can do yoga. There's a lot of different types of yoga you can do to relieve some of this stress when it comes to working on YouTube automation. A lot of times you're going to be sitting in place or you're going to be exposed to a lot of lights. So what I would do is recommend that you're in a dim environment. I would recommend that you're away from electronics. If you can be outside, that's great. If you can be in somewhere that's quiet, even better. When it comes to sounds, there's different types of chimes and bells that you can get. There's different types of apps that can help with that. So look into different types of chimes and apps that can simulate different natural sounds like fires cracking or maybe even the sounds of the rainforest. Things of that nature can be very beneficial for you in your recovery from burnout and also in your prevention from burnout. Another thing you're going to want to look at is your sleep patterns. Make sure you're getting good rest. If you're not getting good rest, you're going to want to utilize different devices that can help. Your doctor can take a look at it. They can track your REM sleep. The Muse S actually can track your REM, so give that a shot if that's something that you have access to. Make sure that you're utilizing that capability. I actually use it and it does a really good job. I've watched some of the discussions and TED Talks, and it's been very helpful for me when it comes to tracking my REM and making sure that I'm getting a quality sleep. Does it do a perfect job? There's nothing that's going to do a perfect job. That said, you can minimize the risk by staying ahead and being informed. So make sure that you are getting the right information from your doctor and you're looking into experts who can help you. There are yoga instructors who focus in on recovery and sleep. There are others that focus in on fitness and cardio. There's others that focus in on calisthenics. There's a lot of different type of niches that you can go into when it comes to yoga. But if you're particularly trying to avoid burnout from YouTube automation, then mindfulness is going to be something I highly recommend. A final thing that we have, one thing that we use with our 4-year-old is we have a system of bells that chime together and they help get you to a meditative state. We do this before bedtime and it's pretty helpful. We don't do it every time. Sometimes we forget, but more often than not, we use it. And if we use it, it is something that really does help the child relax a little bit more and get a good night's sleep. Real simple things that you can do to really benefit you and help you with the burnout. Again, start with breathing, water, sitting down, stepping outside, getting a change of scenery can be really helpful for the brain and the neuroplasticity. If you have an opportunity, check out some of the more advanced neuroscientists out there. I like Andrew Huberman. He's a neuroscientist at Stanford School of Medicine, and he has a lot of great guests on his podcast where he talks about ways to increase your neuroplasticity and to help prevent things such as burnout and different types of degenerative disease. So hopefully take a look into all of those. Oh, yeah. And it should be very beneficial for you in your journey when it comes to avoiding some of these pitfalls. But YouTube automation is a beautiful thing. It can lead to stress. So keep an eye out on that and you should be fine. Otherwise, you're in good hands. Continue to do what you're doing and we'll see you on the next one.